but what do you believe is holding back most social impact organizations?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think that let's look at what's right. Money is flowing. So you can't say that they're under-resourced because take, for example, climate change, the impact investment that is addressing the urgent climate transitions. So there's really no argument to be made that it's underfunded. I think that ship has sailed. The question is more about connecting that investment to resources on the ground. A lot of, when you talk about efforts like saving the whales or saving the forests, a lot of what has made that top of mind in the average person's consciousness is thanks to grassroots efforts. It's because they've seen people come and go in their lives that cared about it, that said something about it, that did something about it. And the question is, those $1 trillion that are flowing over, the collective impact investment funds around the world, how are those getting routed to the resources on the ground where the work gets done? And I believe that it's not so much a question of will the work get done. Yes, there is a lot of machinery to work through to get them funded. But I think that what also holds them back, these organizations, they've got a rock-solid mission. They attract really good people who, by the way, often turn down opportunities to get paid a whole lot more money to do something very different, but choose to be there because of the mission, vision, and values of that organization. The question is, are you bringing the sensibilities of the mainstream world into that operating model? And that's really core to what I'm trying to do with Mission Flywheel, is to take experiences, working in a media agency environment, and similarly working at places like Google and Foursquare. You get access to a lot of different businesses. I've worked on every single industry vertical. I've worked on some big global brand in every single category, and you learn something different. You compare and contrast as you go. And all of that allows you to be a little more agile, a little more creative in solving whatever problem of the moment you sit down and start to grapple with. And so I think that what has been holding social impact organizations behind and will be less of a burden, but it still needs to accelerate, is good people coming from outside the orbit of these organizations, coming from more of the mainstream economies, where they come and they say, hey, I was, doing R&D in pharma for 30 years. I've decided to do something different. I'm taking those skills and I'm bringing them to climate tech, or I'm bringing them to healthcare, right? Or, I was an engineer at a big automaker for 30 years. And now in the twilight of my career, I've decided I want to pitch in on smart mobility because these cars are putting way too many emissions into the atmosphere, right? So I think that's the big issue is, can we get more people from the other side to join the cause? And the money's there, the effort is there, and I think it's just a matter of time.